Some people say that when you can't tell games from reality, your brain is broken. I say it just means you're playing a really good simulation, and in this video, we're celebrating only the most ridiculously authentic. That includes flight sims, military sims, train sims, and more. So if you want to feel what it's like to haul a trailer full of plumbing parts across Europe, or take a ride on the West Somerset Railway without having to ask someone to move their bag off the seat, then keep watching our video on the top 7 hardcore sims. And as ever, don't forget to subscribe to us here so you don't miss another video from PCGamesN. Number 1, and if you're really serious about flight sims, and I mean really serious, X-Plane 11 should be on the top of your list. The physics are ludicrously in-depth, with wings that visibly bend to convey weight, and an underpinning system calculates a plane's behavior based on the air around it. Yes, air is actually simulated in this game. All the aircraft, of course, have fully modelled cockpits, and descending through the clouds as cities glimmer on your windshield is a joy. Developer Laminar's game has helicopters too, and while I can't say I've had the terrifying pleasure of flying a chopper in real life, those in the know regard the ones here as incredibly convincing. Now, yes, the low detail landscape textures are a bit of a drawback, with some areas appearing sparse and big cities lacking polish. That's something the impossibly glossy Microsoft Flight Simulator addresses when it comes out sometime next year. But until then, if you want to experience customizable atmospheric conditions, lifelike avionics, and the fear of God when you run out of fuel above a densely populated area, X-Plane 11 is the game to get. For the second entry, we're going loud with Insurgency Sandstorm, a hardcore military FPS that plays like a condensed version of Arma 3. At its heart, this is a game all about simulating the ferociousness of modern war. A couple of gunshots will down any enemy, although aiming and actually hitting them is far more difficult. There's a large range of realistic guns to choose from, and they all feel distinct, especially once you start modding them with attachments like new barrels, grips, and scopes, which can completely change the feel of a weapon. And you can forget any sort of hand-holding UI elements. There are no grenade warning flashes, kill tracking scoreboards, and you won't even see how many bullets you've got chambered. Other sim aspects include the weight system, which determines what weapons and gear you can haul into battle. The less stuff you have, the more nimble you are. Arma 3 is the military sim to get if you want to lose yourself in a realistic conflict, but Insurgency Sandstorm is for anyone who wants to get into an authentic gunfight straight away. Number 3, it's Train Sim World, and while there are plenty of railway games out there, few come quite as close to recreating both the euphoric highs and soul-crushing mundanity of train travel. In Train Sim World, you do the driving, managing, and general upkeep from a first-person perspective, making you feel like a particularly overworked member of crew. You can also, if you want, step out of the cab and ride every one of the loads of locomotives as a passenger, watching the world go by without accidentally making eye contact with strangers. Trains run on their actual timetables, and developer Dovetail recorded sounds from their real-life counterparts. A whole heap of optional add-ons let you ride plenty of different routes. From the Great Western Express departing from London Paddington to America's busiest commuter railroad located in the heart of New York. They do get a bit pricey, to be honest, but if you consider yourself a train spotter, a train glancer, or even an occasional train appreciator, you won't be able to find a more in-depth and realistic train sim for your money. On to our fourth entry, Assetto Corsa, and while driving sims like Project Cars and Forza offer a bit more glamour, nothing matches Assetto Corsa when it comes to the pure sensation of driving. The developers have gone so granular with it. It's not enough for the tyres to have accurate weight and bounce, but they actually subtly degrade over the course of a race, with graining, blistering, and rubber being deposited on the track. Cars also have advanced aerodynamic simulation that causes parts to move about, so it doesn't feel like you're driving a particularly fast box of cereal. Assetto Corsa is one of the most customizable racers out there too. You can download thousands of mods importing other players' cars, tracks, and visual effects. Check it out, someone even made a lawnmower. An actual lawnmower, yep. Your eyes are not deceiving you. From intricately altering the position of your cockpit cam to wrestling a 500 brake horsepower engine through Monza, realistic sound and physics come together in Assetto Corsa. All to justify the 300 quid you spent on a force feedback wheel while your family starved. Silent Hunter Wolves of the Pacific is our 5th entry, and it's a game that captures the complexity of submarine warfare. I mean, I assume I've not actually been in a submarine war yet, fingers crossed, but this game taught me a whole lot about it. You have to plot courses, read radars, and order all crew to battle stations just as they're sailing down for a nice meal. Rule number 1 of being a sub-commander, keep everyone on their toes. You play from the Allied perspective in the Pacific theatre of war, making Wolves of the Pacific ideal for naval nerds and history buffs alike. Yeah, you know what, it doesn't look like the most friendly game ever made, but don't let that put you off. Overlook the control rooms full of strange dials and all the hull creaks and the 2007 visuals, symptomatic of a game that came out in 2007 of course, and you'll find the best World War II naval combat experience going. Packed with atmosphere, tension, and I assume a big squid ready to pull you into the depths. I've not seen that yet, but I bet it's there, lurking. Sixth up is the newest game in the IL-2 Sturmovik series, Cliffs of Dover. Blitz Edition is a 2017 update to the 2011 first, a very serious World War II flight combat game letting you fight in the Battle of Britain, whether that's as an Allied pilot in Spitfires and Hurricanes, or a member of the Luftwaffe with their planes adorned with human skulls. Rather than divide up the locations by level, developer Team Fusion instead made a massive 350 by 350 kilometer map that covers the entire southeast of England, as well as the English Channel, London, northern France, and a bit of Belgium. With the game's realistic aeronautics, you'll need to perfect actual air combat maneuvers like loop-the-loops, rolling scissors, and Immelman turns, especially since one stray round is enough to split your fuel tank and make you do the aircraft equivalent of bleeding out. A shot in someone's engine, or even killing the enemy pilot himself, will knock a plane out of the sky, making Cliffs of Dover feel that much more dynamic. So if you want to defend Queen and Country, or, just bomb them into oblivion, check this one out. And here we are, our 7th and final entry, Euro Truck Simulator 2, the most engrossing game about delivering cargo ever made. Travel thousands of miles of accurately mapped road networks transporting things between over 60 European cities. The more you drive, the bigger your freight hauling company grows. You'll hire drivers, buy garages, and customize a fleet of lorries with cool lights and novelty horns. They'll hear you coming a mile off. For me, it's the mundanity that makes Euro Truck Simulator 2 so easy to recommend. On one hand, it's therapeutic, cruising the dual carriageways of northern Italy at the legally mandated speed limit while listening to a local radio station is just as good for your soul as yoga. On the other, it's unexpectedly challenging. You've not experienced fear until you've tried to parallel park a Volvo after a long night drive from Luxembourg to Budapest. Forget what driving sims have taught you about racing lines and apexes. Euro Truck Simulator 2 is about patience and not turning any corner greater than 10 degrees unless you want to knock thousands off your salary. So those were our top 7 hardcore sims, the games to play if you want a scarily accurate representation of something without leaving the house. Let me know in the comments if you'll be giving any of these a bash, and throw some support our way by subscribing to us here at PCGamesN.